Now it's time for Banter with Bruce. Who is Bruce Pilbrow, the CEO of Spirit of Adventure? He's been married for 30 years, absolute smart when it comes to corporate and community and all sorts of bits and pieces. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, mate? I'm
rolling, feeling a lot more in flow today than week one. There's a lot more in flow. I'm feeling good. How's the week been? How's the body? How's the whānau? How's life?
Yeah, no, whānau's good. I'm just sitting here looking over the beautiful Hauraki Gulf. It's a beautiful day here in Auckland. Well, you won't know, but I can tell you it is. And no, it's been a good week. It's been a busy week, but it's been a good week.
All right. So Banter with Bruce. Each week we connect up with you. You've got good insights. We're obviously we've been homies for a while. What's been bubbling on your mind this week, my friend?
Well, it's interesting. We were sort of talking about last week when we sort of talked about kind of finding your new way forward, I guess, when it's been kind of tough for everybody, right? And taking away that blame culture on yourself and that sense of failure and realizing that things are often outside your control. And so how do you pick yourself up and move forward? And of course, COVID's been a big thing for us all, right? But it's nothing you can control. It's completely out of your control. So I've sort of been moving into the space of kind of, well, how do you set your personal values? How do you set your sort of personal mantra for life? And something you can fall back on when the times get hard.
Do you think what percentage of people would have a life mantra, you feel?
I don't know. I mean, within our family, Amanda and I have always had one, and we've lived by it. Like, people know us by it.
What is it?
And it's real simple. So it's atua or God or spirituality, whatever that is for you. And then for us, so it goes sort of God, family, everything else. And it's so simple, but basically what I'm saying is that work fits into everything else. People wanting my time away from my family fits into everything else. So it really is having a higher power or something that for us, whatever spirituality is for you, right? And then, but sitting right underneath that is that we've always taken the sense of family started with Amanda and I, like we are a family, and then our kids are in addition to that, but we're going to fight for that always, and that's always going to be our priority. And we're not going to allow other things in life which can creep in and take you away from that, destroy what we've committed to each other. And it seems to have worked so far for 32 years, which has been great.
That's it. My brain goes to Bruce thinking about businesses have mission statements and value statements and goals and visions, whatever. But personally, with relationships and whānau and friends and whatever, even just personally for everyone's life, I don't think they do.
No,
that's quite. It's interesting. Why is that a case where in business we set goals and missions, but then personally, I mean, the fact you've even got your own, mantra for yourself with atua whānau and everything else. What do you think that is?
I think what happens is that life takes off really quickly. You go to university, get your degree or whatever that is for you. I didn't get a degree. I don't think you have either. But you know what I'm trying to say. You kind of get into that apprenticeship. You get into work. Then you buy your first house. You might get into a relationship. Then you have kids, and then suddenly you realise you're 50. And I think for us in our family, we went, actually, no, we're going to set the rules of our life, and we're going to say these are the parameters that we're going to put around our life. And I've left jobs because of my family. And I know that sounds quite pretentious to say that. How could I afford to do that? But I kind of think, well, if you've got that attitude of looking after your family first, you will find a job if that's the case. So for us, it just became an important thing to live by, and our kids live by it as well. Like, our kids are in their 20s now, and they still have that sort of quite solid value. It's kind of followed through to them, and that people that we love and are close to us are actually worth a lot of our effort, if not most of it. And work helps pay for that, I guess. Yeah.
Are these mantras and goals and missions and visions? Do you proactively instill those into your kids, and how have you done that? Yeah,
well, when we did it, because you got young kids, right, mate? So
3 and 4. Yeah.
So what we used to do with our kids is, and we used to say things like, "In our family, we." So if someone was being rude to somebody, we would go to our kids, "Look, in our family, we are not rude to others." Or in our family, yeah. So we started to bring those sorts of values because you want your kids to have a diverse way of thinking. You want them to think about values. You want them to start thinking about equality. because, you know, they're the ones that we're going to put into the world beyond us. So I guess that's where it started, and it sort of just became our family way. It just sort of became our mantra. And my kids have called me up on it. Like that, when I've had times in my life where I haven't been living to that mantra, my kids have said to me, hey, work's in the way and we're missing out. And that's not the way we do things in this house. So let's have a talk about that.
That what, your kids call you up on that?
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
So I had a business. Yeah, well, I had a business once and it was doing well, but they weren't seeing me. I was on a plane traveling the world and doing all that sort of stuff. And I came home one day. There was a glass of wine sitting on the bench. And I was like, well, that's good. Who's that for? And they said, it's for you. And as I started drinking it, my 3 kids came out of the dark and sort of confronted me.
You got an intervention. You got a commercial intervention from the whānau.
It was an intervention. And they just said, hey, Dad, I thought our family motto was God, family, everything else. At the moment, it's everything else, family and God. Like, you're completely focused. We're not seeing you, and we're not happy about that. And they were, 15, 13, and 12?
Jeez. Savages, mate, in the Pilbrow.
Well, it is savage, but it's cool, isn't it? Don't you think? I just don't think we pause enough in life to think about what are we going to be known for? You know, what am I going to be known for? What impact am I going to make on the world? And there's a business impact, I get that, but there needs to be a personal one as well.
Absolutely epic. Well, I really appreciate that. I like the change of the words. Bruce, I hope you have an awesome rest of the week with whānau, atua whānau, and everything else. Very cool indeed, changing the names and the words to make a difference and coming up with those personal mantras. So really appreciate your time once again. Oh, he's a smart man, old Bruce. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely awesome.